Hey y'all, what's up? Hope you guys are having a great day. Please leave your prayer request in the bottom. My email will be in the description. So I'm sorry if I look like a hot mess. I promise you this is actually stain from me staining some planter boxes. We're building some for my mother-in-law as part of a late Mother's Day gift. Me and my husband are behind on a few things and we're trying to play catch up this month. Got a list a mile long of stuff to do, so I'm sorry I look like a hot mess, but this is the only time I'm going to be able to make a video today. God is so amazing. So this morning I was actually not supposed to be at home. I was actually supposed to be on the lake doing some catfishing with my family and just chilling and relaxing today. But God had other plans. Last night he made it very difficult for me and my husband to both get any sleep. We were just tossing and turning all night, and then this morning I woke up with a very bad stomach ache. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get my husband's dinner. Anyways, God is so amazing. I woke up with a very bad tummy ache this morning, and something told me to look at radar and tell my dad to go on without me, because I was supposed to meet up in McAllister, Oklahoma with my dad about between 6 and 6:30 this morning. And I ended up texting my dad and telling him basically just go on without me. I'm gonna, we'll go fishing some other time, but today is just not a good day. And I felt led to look up a radar scope, and when I seen radar scope, I think there's going to be a tornado in McAllister, and lo and behold, at the time that I would have been meeting up with my dad in McAllister, and if my dad didn't leave earlier, my dad would have been caught up in the tornado, and so would me and my husband. But God kept us safe. And as much as I would love to be on the lake fishing with my family, I'm so glad that God not only kept my dad safe, allowing him to leave before the tornado hit, but he also kept me and my husband safe. And I'm beyond grateful. Sometimes bad things happen to us for a reason. And, Satan does attack us. Satan does come after us, and Satan tends to torture us. But sometimes when something bad happens to you, God allows that something bad to happen to you to keep you from something way worse. And McAllister got hit really bad. I'm praying for everybody that's in McAllister right now. I don't know if they still have power, but I've heard from McAllister to Krebs and a few other towns that surround McAllister, there is power outages and different things like that. So we do need to keep those people in our prayers. One thing I've noticed about these tornadoes and this tornado season is these tornadoes have been at least a mile wide almost every single time. And, due to previous seasons that I have seen over the years, I have never really heard of more than one, if not at all, a mile wide plus tornado being produced. But it seems like every time we turn around this tornado season, there's mile wide plus tornadoes on the ground, and they're becoming more frequent. The storms are becoming more aggressive. The storms this year have been more aggressive than they've ever been. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, God, this is a preview. This is like the small preview of what is coming. Because what's coming is going to be like a billion times worse. Like, I don't even know how to fully describe it. But we've got to keep our eyes on Jesus, and we've got to stay rooted in him. And, sometimes we have to be thankful that God allows us to go through things that we don't like, or that's uncomfortable, or, seems unfair, because sometimes those problems that come your way are protecting you from something else. And, one thing I've noticed with these storms is they are becoming a little bit more closer and more aggressive. Too close for comfort, I guess, and too much aggressive for comfort. I'm hoping those are the right words. But somehow, even though the storms are getting worse, and we see that the biggest storm is on its way, the 7 years of tribulation, God has got his hand on us. And it just really shows you how much in the age of grace we are, that God is protecting us, he's leading us, and he's guiding us. So be grateful in the bad, be grateful in the good, praise him in the storm. Jesus is on his way. And I heard that there's fires out in California. Keep those people in your prayers. In LA, there was rally. I don't know if there's any other rallies anywhere, but there was a pretty bad rally. People were chopping center blocks and chonking them at cars and pedestrians and all kinds of crazy stuff. I've just only been able to hear glimpses here and there. I've been super busy. I've barely had my phone with me the past couple of days, but what I'm seeing is that the birth pains are getting worse and worse and worse by the second. And yet God has still got his hand on us, and we can find peace and comfort in the storm. So whatever you're going through, praise Jesus in the storm. Praise Jesus in your circumstance, and hold on tight. Jesus will come for us. God will not bail on his promises, and Bible prophecy has not stopped. It's actually very much increasing. I'm trying to keep an eye on this stuff as much as I can. It is overwhelming, to say the least, to try to look at the news, and with my own personal life that I'm dealing with right now, and just everything that's going on. But you know what? I'm so glad that God's in control. God has his hand on us. Even if you look at it as normal, God's got you. Because, one thing I've done is I've looked back on my life, and I'm like, how did I survive that? I shouldn't have survived this circumstance. I shouldn't have survived this. And you definitely see that God's had his hand on you the whole time. All right. Well, I do have to get off here. I hope y'all have a great day. And I'm sorry about the glare. I don't know what it is. Probably the sun, maybe? I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to get off here. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll either see you in my next video, or I'll see you in heaven. Please make sure you leave your prayer request in the bottom. If you need to email me, my email is in the description. All right. Bye, guys.